remember I like that conversation you guys had because
Yeah.
I remember I was
So.
like, yeah, who wouldn't want a 3 round
Uh,
burst handgun, you know?
yeah. Let's just
But
hope it doesn't burst in your hand.
yeah, so but I remember you guys talking about that, and I was like, huh,
One of the Smith and Wesson EZs that were made between I guess March this year and October.
and one of you guys happened to own one, right?
Yeah, one of us had one, and he's like, I'll have to check and see about that one. So
Yeah.
he's gonna he we went to look up the serial number. He hadn't gotten that
Did he
yet.
test it out on GunTube or did he did he send me a picture?
No, no. And Travis P11 didn't break that one either.
Okay. And so this question's gonna be a little more serious.
Oh boy, here it
Yeah,
comes.
I know. I asked Storm and
I'll,
Norman.
I'll clench my butt cheeks.
Yeah. I asked Storm and Norman this. I'm gonna ask you the same thing. You might have the same answer. You might have a different answer. But why do you think guns are so controversial?
For the same reason anything else is controversial in this country, so people can have something to complain about. I mean, why do we think guns is such a controversy? Well, if the naysayers that don't believe guns should be in this country, let me ask you this: why do they have armed security everywhere they go when they go to speak out against guns?
Yeah. No,
I mean,
I
you don't
agree on that.
you don't see. Do you see? Okay, another thing. You've got these senators that are advocating for more gun control, but do you see them giving up their armed security? The people that could protect the senators and the House of Representatives. Do you see them giving up their armed security there?
Yeah. No. Not at all.
No. Any person that is for gun control, do you see them giving up any of their armed security that surrounds them when they're at an event advocating?
Nope. I always
No,
see the
no.
armed guards there.
And the reason for that is because they're disingenuous. They want firearms for the elite, for the rich, but everyone else, if you can't afford an armed security guard team, then you don't deserve to own firearms. That's their thinking. So it's
Yeah.
basically it. I hate to say it like this, but gun control in and of itself is a rich versus poor argument,
Yeah. So it's pretty much a way for the rich to bully the poor.
more or less. I mean, just look at Bloomberg.
Yeah. What about Bloomberg?
Well, most of the large gun control groups in the United States are funded by Bloomberg.
Yeah. Um.
You know how much he spends a year on gun control and funding all these gun control groups?
No, I'm
Between
not too
10 and $20 million a year.
Yeah, that's a good amount. That's not any money I have.
It's not any money I have either. So how do we fight? How do we fight a billionaire who's throwing millions of dollars a year? Trying to take everybody's gun rights away because he lives in New York. He never hardly ever leaves New York. The first time he ever left New York was when he was campaigning for president, and now he's back in New York.
Yeah,
So I mean, if you live in a big city that has a lot of gun control laws, if you never leave that city, why the hell do you need to dictate policy anywhere else in the country?
yeah, I
if
agree.
you
And
don't if you don't live anywhere near a forest or the countryside where there are wild animals, and I live in South Carolina, so there's swamps. So you know what lives in swamps here in South Carolina? Two things: cottonmouth snakes and alligators. You know what an alligator is, right?
oh yeah,
These large reptilians that almost resemble dinosaurs. They can and will attack people at their prerogative.
yeah, my belt's made of alligator.
Yeah. So you're telling me I don't need a firearm to protect myself from wildlife? I'm gonna tell you to go take a long walk off a short pier without any floating devices, without a boat, without anything, wearing concrete shoes because quite honestly, you're asking for the impossible. You're asking me to give up my life just for a wild animal, which I will not do.
Yeah. So so
No.
why not have a 10 round instead of why do you need 30 rounds in that magazine?
Well, okay. Where in the Second Amendment does it say you need only 10 rounds?
Exactly. But
where it says and here's where people say, oh, it's the government giving the government
hold on,
permission
hold on. I'm gonna cut you
to
off real
own
quick. I'm
firearms.
gonna cut you off real quick, but you can go ahead and finish. Um, I don't believe in the 10 round magazine either, but I'm just asking as if
Yeah.
someone's point of view. So why would you need more than 10 rounds when 10 rounds should be enough for an alligator supposedly, or enough to stop one or maybe 10 people. 1 round could stop each person.
Mm. Let me ask you this: how many people do you know are that good with that accurate with guns?
Not not a lot, man. Especially in
Okay,
a tense situation.
let me ask you this. Yeah, you got 10 situation. Seconds count. Minutes count when you only have seconds. And have you've gone to the range? How good is your accuracy with 10 rounds?
Yeah, they're not all on that center dot. I'll tell you that.
They're not all on that center dot. So, uh, in this 10 round argument, well, if you had 20 or 30 rounds, you know, yeah, you might have some that don't exactly hit the center of the target, but with that amount of capacity, you'll be able to get enough shots to where you can protect yourself properly on target.
Yeah, and
And that's why you need more rounds, because nobody in the world is going to be able to do a headshot every single time on command. Only the well trained and the extremely lucky get to be that good.
and that's not every time either. That
And that's not every time either. They're lucky if they get 2 out of 3.
yeah, and then these are just like insane scenarios.
I
The,
understand. I
av- the
understand.
the average person is never gonna have to go through this.
No,
But
no, they're not.
what's the difference between having three 10 round mags and having one 30 round mag, right? Just you gotta what a couple seconds to switch in
The,
between.
the only dis, you know the only di- the only thing is 10 rounds, mags out, new mag in, 10 more rounds, mags out, new mag in, 10 more rounds.
Yeah,
Okay, but you can save yourself a lot of time by just having a 30 round magazine doing 30 rounds.
yeah. No, I agree.
And, and,
That's why
and,
it's kind of ridiculous when I hear some.
it's ridiculous, but it's not half as ridiculous as what De Leon said. A 30 caliber clip. You remember that?
No, I don't
You
listen to
know,
politicians too crazy because they.
it shoots 30 rounds in 30 seconds. Yeah, I'd like to have that kind of gun. I'll tell you,
Yeah. Uh,
right?
I was to say, it's crazy because I don't know. They talk about actually, Storm and Norman makes a good point too. If criminals running around with 30 round mags and cops fighting them have 30 rounds, these same criminals frequent the streets. Then he's saying, why do they? That's why the cops need the 30 rounders to fight the 30 rounders. If those cops aren't there, I mean, why can't we have 30 rounds?
Yeah.
And the whole point about them saying, okay, so in a perfect world, if we all had 10 round mags, we could stop mass shooting. No, that's what I'm saying. Perfect world, right? We could stop mass shooting supposedly with 10 round mags,
The
right?
world's not perfect.
Yeah. So but exactly. There's already these 30 round mags out there. There's already these big round mags out there.
I've got drum mags. I mean, I'm not giving those up for anything.
Yeah, and if a criminal wants to take out a big group of people, and they only have 10 round mags, they're gonna find another way to take out more people. It's not just the capacity amount. So I mean, I understand it's ridiculous that we can't have these things because, like you said, the Second Amendment, it doesn't
It doesn't say it.
yeah, it doesn't say there's a limit,
It doesn't say there's a limit.
but
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous because I mean, all right, there's already more magazines out there that are more than 30 or 30 more than 10 rounds. I'm sorry. We can't change that, and at the same time, it doesn't make a difference how many mags I have because it just takes one
It's
shot anyways.
it's just as ridiculous as someone saying, why do you need more than 3, 4? Why do you need more than one gun?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. My response to that was, why do you need more than one car? Why do you need more than one home? Because
Why do you need
you know
a 500 horsepower car when that 200 horsepower car will do fine, right?
yeah, why do you need a car for business and a car for leisure?
Yeah.
I mean, why do you have a summer home and a winter home? Okay, it's like that. It's because we live in the United States. We have the freedom of choice.
Exactly.
That's why. Because if you want one gun and you're happy with just one gun, great. But if you want thousands of guns, if you can afford it, go for it. Knock yourself out.
Like you said, with more than one home. Okay, so technically, all someone needs is a one house with maybe one room for two people, right? Let's just say that.
Yeah.
You're a family of four. All you need is a 2 bedroom house, 2 bathrooms max. That's all you need.
Yeah.
But why? They're not stopping someone from buying a mansion with multiple rooms, multiple.
I mean,
land.
if they can afford it, go for it. Knock yourself out. The argument with it is when someone asks you that, well, then ask them, well, then why do we need people telling us we can only have this or that when there's more options available?
Yeah, exactly, and it's more of
that's the point. That's the thing with gun control and whatnot. They try and ask you these absurd, insane questions like, well, why do you need 10 rounds, or why do you need 30 rounds over 10? Why do you need more than one firearm? Why do you need more than one house? I mean, well, who are you to dictate what I can and can't have? Hey, if I can afford this or that, it's none of your damn business.
Yeah, it's not that I need a 30-round mag. I want a 30-round mag.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not gonna.
And it's not like you need 4 cars, but I want 4 cars.
Yeah, and I'm gonna buy 4 cars if I can afford it.
If I can afford it, or hell, if I just buy jalopies and I fix them up and I use them, well, you know what? There you go.
Yeah.
It's about the freedom of choice, and when you remove the freedom of choice to the American people, they are no longer free.
Yeah, and then a piece of a vlog saying, I think the difference is people think guns are more dangerous than a house. That's true. No. Yeah, no, but okay. But
actually, it's not, because a house can fall on a person just like a gun can kill a person.
Well, you can't use a house to kill someone, But
you say that. What? Someone will try.
But okay, let's compare it to a car then. Why do they allow people to have, like I said, 500 horsepower cars where a person driving it, they can kill themselves or they could kill multiple people with it recklessly?
We heard what happened in Germany the other day where 7 people got run over by a car.
Yeah.
Well, a car is just as deadly as a firearm, but we hand out licenses left and right to people.
Yeah, they educate people to make them safer. So why can't we educate people on guns?
Why can't we educate people? I mean, if you want a concealed carry permit in most states, you have to go through some form of course where they teach you, education. They teach you the laws. They teach you what you can and cannot do when you're carrying a firearm. They teach you have to have some form of insurance or something to cover yourself in case you were in a situation. I mean, you have to learn how to use a car. You have to get insurance to use a car. You have to have a license to drive the car. Same thing. I don't see what the problem is. I don't see why we need to make a big deal over firearms. Why can't we just treat them as we do cars? Because you have a right to the firearms. You don't have a right to the cars, but the cars are less restricted than the firearms.
Yeah, it's true. They can they pretty much give a car to anyone that just has money.
And a car is just as dangerous as a firearm is, because again, as I mentioned before, if you look at what happened in Germany or what happened in New York a couple of years ago, someone just used a Home Depot rental pickup truck to run over a ton of people.
Yeah, dang.
You don't need to use a gun.
They rented a vehicle. That's crazy.
Yeah. Some dude rented a Home Depot pickup truck and just ran over a bunch of cars in New York several years ago.
Hopefully the Home Depot insurance covered that, huh?
Yeah, I know, right?
So, sorry, I don't want to make you seem like a bad guy or anything.
I'm not a bad guy. No, I understand the question. You have to ask some of these hard questions because people don't understand. And guys, if you don't understand, if you have questions about these kind of things, ask Jerry. Jerry knows about firearms. Not a lot, but he knows enough. He's pretty knowledgeable. I mean, and what he doesn't know, he can ask Norm.
Take it easy. Take it easy, man.